All right, Mr. Arvin, welcome back. We're here again. This time today, we're talking about seller feedback, reviews, and ratings on Amazon. So, obviously, a really important piece of your Amazon business. One, because it helps with conversion rates. If you have the more reviews and the more positive they are, also gives you a lot of feedback and keeping your account in good standing. Can we just start by breaking down what's the difference between seller feedback and then product ratings and product reviews?
Well, yeah, I mean, the product review is, as the word itself, product. So it's a review that is given by Amazon customers to a particular product that they can see on the product detail page. So if you scroll down on the detail page, there is a section there that says product review. There's where you can see, and other customers will be able to, or Amazon customers will be able to see and read. I mean, to me, as an Amazon customer, I usually go there to see if this product is actually worth buying or not. Well, the seller feedback, it is normally a feedback that is given to a seller on how they do business as an Amazon seller, maybe related to their shipments or how they are communicating with their Amazon customers, and so it's just for me, my feedback usually how they do or how they interact with me as an Amazon customer. The ratings, however, is the product rating that shows the star on next to the product review, the counts of the review, and then there's a star in there that usually there's like 5 stars there. So
Hopefully,
yeah, that's
five
the product
stars.
rating. It's there's an algorithm that Amazon is using to calculate how much will be the product rating from the product reviews that you got. So,
Yeah, awesome. So you have seller feedback, and then you have product reviews and ratings, which obviously are on the product. And the difference between product reviews and ratings, tell me if I'm wrong about this, but reviews are when someone actually writes something, or writes something and adds an image, versus a rating is when they just leave a star rating, and that won't show normally in the actual customer review section at the bottom, but it does factor into your overall score. Is that correct?
I think so too, mate. Yeah, some Amazon customers are doing that and it's being factored in. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So let's
Mhm.
talk first about seller feedback. Seller feedback. So again, this is the feedback that you can see. I think it's in performance than seller feedback in Seller Central. Um, so sometimes you do get, most of the time, hopefully you're getting 4 or 5 star reviews there, but sometimes you do get 3, 2, 1. And a lot of times we see that they might not be reviews that should be there. For example, we see a lot of times, like if you're doing FBA, someone leaves a piece of
Mhm.
feedback like this will arrive 2 days late. That's messed up. Uh, when you have those kind of things come in on your seller feedback, what can you do to actually get them removed?
Well, first thing you have to consider is that before getting it removed, did you fulfill that product or that order via Amazon FBA, or did you fulfill it on your own? Because if you are a merchant and you fulfill it on your own, there is the chance of you to getting that removed is, I would say, close to zero. Not unless that's somehow related to still Amazon. And then if it's an FBA, I will not personally get them removed right away. I would use that one to see as well if this is like an ongoing review or feedback rather from my customer. Maybe there's something that I can do. But then removing a seller feedback coming from an FBA order is just like as easy as creating a case, and Amazon will automatically remove it. And then again, as I was saying, as a precaution, I would not just delete it right away. I would read the feedback and see if there's something I can do about it, or raise it to Amazon. Hey, I've been constantly receiving this seller feedback from my customer. What's going on? Because at the end of the day, whatever those customers are saying, it might impact my Amazon selling account in the future.
Yeah. So
So,
yeah.
so just to answer,
Sorry, go ahead.
just to answer your question, yeah, I mean, if you want to get it removed, just there's an option in there to say delete this feedback, and it will automatically create a case on your seller central, and Amazon will remove
Cool.
it.
Yeah. So seller
As
feedback, you've
long
got a drop down. Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I mean, I'm just trying to be more specific in there because not all seller feedback can be removed. as long as it's really like in violation of the terms and condition of Amazon when it comes to getting seller feedback removed. Because again, not only about merchant, but also there are some seller feedback that is fulfilled by FBA that can't be removed as well.
Sure. Yeah. But we've seen good success with almost every account that I think we've managed probably over the many years working together, that if you do get seller feedback that's a 1-2 star rating, you have a really good chance a lot of times to get it removed by doing the drop down and requesting removal. And sometimes they reject it, but you just have to open a case. All right. We had a quick technical difficulty, but yeah, so seller feedback, I think we've covered. You essentially have a good shot at getting things removed. There are some caveats there. Now, on the product reviews and ratings side, I mean, first off, what is a good score that you should have? Obviously, everyone wants to have a perfect 5-star, but what would you say is kind of like the minimum threshold that you really need to have on your products?
Personally, 4.3 to me is actually okay. The reason being that, when if it's 4, then it's just showing about 4 stars in there. But if it's 4.3 at least, it's like almost showing 4.5 stars, like almost half of it.
It rounds
a,
up.
a 4, yeah, a 4.2 is almost showing like 4 stars.
Right.
So,
yeah. So on Amazon, if it will display, if you have a 4.2 rating, then Amazon will show it as 4 stars. If it's a 4.3, then you'll get 4.5 stars. And that extra little bump does significantly improve your conversion, click-through rates, and things like that. So of course, the higher the better. But in terms of strategies, how do we get well, let's talk first. I know we get negative feedback. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I know it's very hard to get those removed. And it used to be you could actually reply to the customer directly. Amazon removed that. So in terms of if you get a 1-star review and you think it's unfair, maybe the person just had a bad day, what can you actually do about that, if anything?
There's actually, we're talking about product reviews, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so there is a community guidelines as to what kind of product reviews that you can actually ask Amazon support to get it removed. So if let's say, like if you go to that help page, it will give you the list. And if it's totally against that guidelines of Amazon, then you can reiterate it to Amazon support to have that product review. The only problem is that they don't have a department where you can have like create a case, or you can like someone to talk to. When you raise a case to the community, they will just the case will just go there on your seller's central account as there's a case ID, but no one will respond to that. So someone will just send you an email that we're not going to remove this because this is not against EOS, and the only thing for you to do is to just keep on raising cases and reiterate that this is against the guidelines. However, if it is not against the guideline, then you cannot get that feedback or that product review removed. And the way for you to actually cope up with that is to maybe ask more customers to leave you a product review, and then your other customers or Amazon customers might vote those positive reviews rather than this negative review. But if it is a Chinese seller trying to sabotage your listing, then it's something you have to look at as well and do something.
So negative negative product reviews and ratings are very, very hard to get removed. It's normally a numbers game from the experience that I've seen, unless there's a clear thing that you can call out, and then normally I think it's like if the review is clearly about a different product, if the review is like using profanity, but Amazon normally flags those. If the review is giving away any kind of like personal information or anything, again, Amazon flags a lot of those. So the reviews that end up on your products, normally those ones are already going to be really tough to get removed. It is possible from time to time, but challenging. So I think the last thing for this video, tactics for getting more reviews. There's a number of different things, and this is obviously, there are some black hat and white hat ways to do this. So we want to stay away from the black hat ways of doing it. But, and when I say black hat, I'm just talking about going to a Facebook group and saying, I'll give you a free product if you give me a 5-star review. not good.
Mhm.
Amazon, that's a way to lose your listing potentially. We want to stay totally compliant with Amazon. So what are some of the tactics that you can implement?
Well, I might probably give you three strategies. So the first one is to, like there's still like an option for you to request for a bulk product review. Using app like maybe Helium 10 or a Jungle Scout. That's one. You just have to integrate with your Seller Central account. The second one
And
is, let's say,
for that,
uh,
real quick, so for that one, you just go essentially in Seller Central, you go to your orders page.
mhm,
And on each order, you have the option to hit a button that says request review, which Amazon sends a review request to the customer. You can also only request one review from each customer. So you can't then also send them emails on the side. And you can use, I think Jungle Scout and Helium 10 both have a way to automate it. So you can do like 100 at a time or whatever. So sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to share that.
no, it's all right. It's okay. I mean, the second one is there are still some Amazon sellers that are still putting inserts on their product as long as you're not asking for like a 5-star review, like you're just asking for a generic product review. That Amazon will audit your product, and if it says there that you're actually asking for just a 5-star review, then that would lead to the deactivation of your product listing, and then or maybe your seller account. It's just one story to share. I have with this one seller that she actually told me that Amazon reviewed her product packaging, and then they found this insert, and what they asked her to do is to remove all of her inventory in FBA, so that all of those products that have inserts in there will be replaced by something else, by something new. So his FBA product
Sucks.
or the FBA listing became unavailable for a moment. But the strategy that I gave is that then since it is not really inactive yet, then maybe you can temporarily create a listing for FBM so you can manually fulfill it. And then
Yeah.
so after maybe I think 3 weeks, you managed to replace the FBA inventory, but then for that 3 weeks time, she was manually fulfilling all of the orders to
Yeah.
her customer. So
So,
yeah,
so,
be watch out on
so
inserts.
yeah. And I was just going to add to that too. So yeah, inserts have always been kind of a weird gray area in a lot of ways. I feel like
Mhm.
Amazon has kind of said they don't want you to ever put them in there because they know it's could potentially be stealing traffic from them. But there's a right and wrong way to do it. And the wrong way is to say, hey, here's a little pamphlet, like give us a 5-star review and then send us a message on WhatsApp or something, or whatever. There's a lot of
Yeah,
sketchy ways that it can happen. However, there's a lot of correct ways to do it, aka, hey, we'd love your feedback. Let us know what you think of the product by leaving us a review. Or I'm just throwing that out there. I think inserts are a
yeah.
great way to try to accomplish that. And so that's number
Mhm.
2. What's your third and final one?
Yeah, the third one is something that I did in the past as well, and I know that there are still some sellers that are doing it. Like, in the seller feedback, you will usually receive a good product review, and it's
Mm-hmm.
going there as a seller feedback. So what you can do is actually reach out to that customer and say that, yeah, thank you for your feedback. We really appreciate it. And then and then maybe you can even mention that if you want to leave a product review or review about this product, here's the link. And feel free to leave a review about this product. Right? Because those in seller feedback is not really it will just go as a rating on your seller account, not on on that specific product that they left that product review for. So you can
Right.
do that. Is
Yeah.
these customers are really happy. They gave you a 5-star review, and yeah, they just put it in the wrong what you call it, like instead of giving it to you as a product review, they gave it to you as a product as a seller
Yeah.
feedback. So you can do that.
Because most shoppers don't know the difference and they get a bunch of emails. So sometimes a product review gets left on your seller profile instead. And this is, I always say this is a good tactic to do when you just got maybe like a couple bad reviews in a row. So they're right at the top of your new reviews on a product. You want to bury those as quickly as possible with good reviews. And one of the tactics you can do is just go to seller feedback, look at all the ones that should have been product reviews, and then message all of those customers and say, hey, I saw that you left this as a, seller feedback. Can you actually, would you mind adding this as a product review? Here's a link or whatever to do so. Last thing, and I'll just add a fourth and final one, I guess, which is the Amazon does have the Vine program still. Vine program. I don't know if it's paid anymore. I feel like it used to be paid,
You
then
can
it was
enroll
free
there.
for years. Okay.
Yeah.
And you get 20 reviews, or you can get up to 20 reviews, right? So is that correct? Or do you remember
I
off the top
mean,
of your head?
yeah, I
I haven't
can't
done it in a while.
remember how many you can ask, but then not all of these yeah, the Vine reviewers will not really leave a review to you. You cannot demand Amazon to ask those customers who availed it to leave a review. And the
Yeah.
other thing there is that those Vine reviewers can also give you a bad review. It's not just getting a positive review.
Yeah. So Amazon has a program you can access, and you essentially are giving, I think, up to 20 units away for free, and you're asking for reviews on those. However, you don't normally get all 20. And a lot of times I found that you don't always get positive feedback, which is, rough. So it's kind of mixed. So I think that kind of brings us to the end of this video, and just a final comment, which is at the end of the day, have a good quality product. If you have a good quality product, it's going to make your entire world a lot easier and better. And yeah, that's how you win. I mean, otherwise, you're going to have to deal with all these other tactics a lot more. So,
Yeah.
anything else you want to add for this video?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's something that I forgot earlier when like a strategy on how to actually remove this product review is if you are a brand registered seller, and one of the brand benefits is that you can actually see the order ID of the customer who left the product review. And maybe if you cannot ask Amazon to remove the product review, maybe you can try to reach out to that customer. As long as he didn't opted out and getting and receiving messages from you, then maybe you can reach out to them and not asking them to change the review, but just trying to improve the buying experience, and then somehow maybe they will change their review on your product. So that's just another way to get someone removed or improve rather their ratings in your product.
Cool. Good stuff. Arvin, we covered a lot. I think there's obviously a lot more we can go into here. If you do have questions, if you're watching this and want us to make another video or on like one of these topics in depth or anything else, let us know in the comments down below. But otherwise, I think that's it for this one. So yeah, check the channel out. We'll put links to anything relevant down below. And yeah, we'll be back next week with another video. Cheers.